Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search in this recession by reviewing your resume. The resume we have up first is a data analyst. This person stated that I really want a detailed review. I am stuck. I made many resumes, and this is my best. I still want your insights on how I can improve it because I'm an international student, so the job market is very hard for me. That is very true. Internationals are facing a giant uphill battle, especially because of the H-1B changes that happened at the time of like 2 weeks before recording this video. Is even though it affects H-1Bs, OPTs are also getting hit very hard. So it is very difficult for an international. So what we're looking for in a data analyst is your degree, industry, SQL, data visualization. And the industry is just like, I can't be in every industry. Some industries are going to want some specific stuff, like healthcare may want like HPI7, or software would like SDLC. Then I want to see stakeholders, how you talk to them, how you explain complex technical concepts to non-technical people, how you solved a problem with data. That is a big issue, is solving the problem, not how you got it. Industry, MS Excel, Word, Python, multiple projects, and deadlines. So that is what we're looking for. Recruiters only have 20 seconds to find what we need in your resume. Can I find it in 20 seconds? I don't know. We're going to find out. So away we go. 20 seconds. All right. Your business. I'm looking for data. Process data. Don't care. SQL, Excel. That's good. That might be useful for healthcare. That might be an industry. Python is okay. AWS. Nice. And then like nothing else. And HIPAA, but that's industry. So what did I find? I found SQL. I found Excel. That's great. Those are things I'm looking for. I did find AWS, but cloud is a bonus. And I did see some industry stuff. So HL7 and HIPAA are healthcare industry qualifications. Those are specific to that. But I didn't find anything else. I ended Python, but that's fine. But yeah, I didn't find anything else. So you fell into the trap of talking about what you did with the data. And I'm going to be blunt with you. And I'm not going to try to be mean, but it doesn't matter how you got the answer. It just matters that you got the answer, right? Like, you've spent the last a while in school. And in school, they work and they tell you, hey, you need to make sure the data is correct. Here's how to make sure all the data is correct. Once you get to the corporate world, no one cares, right? They want to make sure it's correct, yes, but they don't really care how you got it. If you went up and you were like, yo, I used a potato and I flung it against the wall and it got accurate results, they're happy with that. They just need to see what you did with the data. And the problem with this is I don't really see what you did with the data besides your first sentence, which is good. Your first sentence is good, although your formatting is awful. You need to use this formatting. But then you get here like repetitive automated tasks in Python, reducing errors by 13%, and SSRS to accelerate report distribution speed. Or this one's okay. Manage multiple projects by unifying 8 data formats using AWS is good. See, your formatting was so bad I actually missed the Power BI dashboards. This is an okay sentence. I just missed it because your formatting was so awful. But then you go down to here and like delivered facet claim analysis reports in PowerPoint to business stakeholders, enabling quicker decision and claim processing by 15%. That's not really, I don't care. Like, it's not just that you interacted with them. I want to know that you could explain complex topics. A stakeholder may come to you and be like, hey, data analyst number 305, how do I turn on my computer? And if you can't help them with that, you have to explain, hey, that's the IT department. I am data analyst. What I do is I find things in the data and show you how to improve what you're looking for. But I don't even see what you did, Super. I think data breaches. Yeah, the rest of this is also not as good. So I need you to actually focus on what they need, especially as an international. And don't pay attention to how you got the thing. Tell me how you did it, because nobody in corporate world has time for you to say, I did healthcare transactions 272 and 71 by implementing encryption and regular audits, ensuring PHO1 compliance. All they care about is prevented data breaches. So that's really all they care about, right? Like they don't care what you did. They care what you did with what you learned. And I don't really see that. Although I will be perfectly honest, I don't know how anybody's chances as an international get a job now because of those rules that the Trump administration implemented approximately 3 weeks ago. I don't even know if a resume would matter or not. I do know the resume was submitted to me before those rules, and they did have a terrible ratio, which is how you tell if your resume is good. So this resume isn't working regardless. But yeah, you are in the most uphill battle I can imagine as a job seeker, which is a fresh grad and an international in a terrible market in probably, well, also we're approaching November, December, and November, December is a hiring wasteland. The second week, give or take, of November until the second week of January, nothing matters in hiring. Like, it matters, but like even a phenomenal resume will not move you forward. It's just that everything kind of shuts down for those month and a half, and then it reopens up with a big hiring boom in January. So don't panic if you're not getting anything from like the second week of November to January. It's normal. That happens every single year. Every single year that happens, and every single year people freak out because they're like, it's my resume. It's not your resume. It's the time of the year. Nothing happens during that time of the year. So that's all I can do for this resume. If you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of 3 things, which is why it already fails. So they stated, and I'm going to read this to you all verbatim. Thank you much for taking the time to review my resume. No worries. I wanted to share a bit more context. I am participating in a post-grad internship with a Fortune 500 company. Unfortunately, they don't have the budget to bring them on full time, so I'm applying to internal roles. And in the meantime, I think they're probably applying to everyone. My focus on positions related to process improvement, such as workforce analyst, business analyst, or pricing analyst. So you need to pick one. I'm not saying you have to only apply to those roles, but whenever you apply to a role, it needs to be job title specific. Your resume needs to be tailored not to the role, but the job title of that role. And that matters because roles have different qualifications, but there is usually a commonly aggregated number of qualifications across a certain role. So I'm not going to be looking for the workforce analyst or pricing analyst, because I did not search those up. These are for business analyst and business analyst only. And it may be this is a fantastic pricing analyst. The problem is I have no idea, and I that's not what I'm looking for. So, for example, I've noticed my location. My current application interview ratio is 14-1. That's actually fantastic. That's really fantastic. You don't even need my help if that's the case. That's really good. Holy moly, I like it. I've noticed the location may be impacting my chances. I applied to an internal role in another state. My application passed the resume filter. There is no resume filter. That is not how that works. It was ultimately rejected without an interview. I expect maybe do a quick turnaround time for internal hires. Are you... Okay, so here's the part I'm a little confused about. Are you entirely applying to internal hires with this resume? Because that's going to skew your ratio. You have a very good chance of getting an interview for an internal role. So the ratio is only for external roles, which I don't know if you have done or not. Let's see. Also, just note my resume there for 3 of my experiences list team. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if your ratio counts, but for a business analyst, I'm looking for mostly what I'm looking for data analysts like SQL, Tableau, Power BI, Industry, Microsoft Office, but I'm also looking for like Word, Jira, SAP, requirements gathering, and meeting multiple deadlines and like Agile, Scrum, and Waterfall. So this may be a phenomenal resume for a pricing analyst or workflow analyst. Again, I can't look at this resume for those roles. I can't. I can only do one. And this is what I chose was business analyst. So let's see if I can find it for specifically a business analyst in 20 seconds. And go. Okay, degree, multitasking, cross-functional is okay. There's too much percentages. Stakeholders, fine. Projects is good. SAP is solid. Tableau, Snowflake, actually pretty good. Quarter plan. This is a nightmare to read, but you actually have a lot of what I wanted. So, yeah, you actually have most of what I wanted. This is probably why you're getting a lot of interviews. You need to fix the formatting. This formatting is a nightmare to read. Your formatting should look like this. and you have way too many percentages, but how you wrote these with the exception of the percentages is actually correct. So spearheaded smart sheet, that counts, that's good for like Excel. Dynamic view for 8 multi-international vendors, that's good. That's actually an appropriate use of a number. That tells me the number of vendors, and it tells me that you can multitask and it meet multiple deadlines at the same time. That's perfect. Reducing approval turnaround times by 30%. I don't care about the 30%. You could just say approval turnaround times. And increasing cross-functional visibility. I don't actually understand how that's worked in there. And then I don't like the word leveraged, but then stakeholder alignment is okay. Manage the end-to-end lifecycle planning. This might be industry specific. I don't know, but there's nothing I can use here besides SAP. Conducted sales reporting across 4 novelty categories throughout 10 plus weeks. Again, this tells me the time frame and deadlines. And it tells me that you utilize the data through Tableau SQL, which is good. Don't really care about actionable business insights. I want to know more. So again, your bullet points are not terrible. They're a little too technical. They have too many numbers and too many words, but a lot of the times I tell people you need to burn and start again. I don't think you do. You just need to like remove half, or I'd say a quarter of each of these and make it more understandable to a layman, but otherwise that's pretty solid. Yeah. Again, some of this reads like it's written by AI, but that's besides the point. It's just too technical. So you need to fix that. And if you're asking if your relocation is putting like a damper on your interviews, then yes, absolutely is. Relocating is always and forever will be a yellow flag. Like, are we in a recession? Yes. But relocating, even when you are not in a recession, is a yellow flag. If you say I can relocate or I'm moving to X and Y, they will probably not move forward with your resume. What you need to do instead, even if you're paying for it, is state at the very top of your resume in an actual summary. This is one of the few times you want a very quick summary that says, like, right between this, that says relocating to X by Y date can move earlier if needed. Because this way it shows that you are willing to move, that it does not actually matter that you don't live in the other place. Even if you don't get this job, you're going to move there. So fix your formatting, remove half of this stuff, and you should be even more golden, but you've done some good stuff. Yeah, it's so dense and heavy. And remember, like, I could only get down to here. That's it, because it was that. I don't know if I need this activities. This is pretty nice. This can be fixed. So yeah, you have more of a formatting issue and too many numbers in your bullet points. And again, remember, this is a fine use of numbers. This is not. You want to avoid percentages when you can. So that's all I can do for this, but you might even have a job by the time, because again, you had the basics down. And again, I would always prefer better bullet points than better formatting. Formatting is like 20 to 30% of your grade. You can in fact pass without proper formatting. So next, resume. This is a resume of a software engineer intern. So what we want in a software engineer intern is not quite a lot, at least for a bachelor's. For a master's, you sometimes want a little bit more, especially, or a PhD, is degree. Again, we need to see that you are currently in school. Basic knowledge of a tech stack, and I mean like basic knowledge. So once you graduate and you need to pick a stack, here you can have a bunch of different stacks. So like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Java, Python, whatever. It just needs to be basic. And then a couple of libraries, SQL, cloud, and the ability to work well with others, and you can take direction and criticism. That's kind of it. That's really all we're really looking for. There's not a ton. This person said, I just applied to a few places, not heard back from them yet. I have little experience, so I'm trying to create projects. As an international student on F1 visa, finding internships open for CPT is pretty difficult. Yes, so I have worked with immigration candidates before. The problem is I don't know what an F1 into a CPT is. I have worked with more, and I've gotten more people hired on visas than the average recruiter. There are definitely some that do a lot more, but than the average recruiter. And I don't even know what this was. I don't know what the difference is between an F1 compared to a CPT. I don't know what it means to be eligible. So your big issue here is you did not describe what this means. I don't know what this means. I don't know what it means if you were eligible for a CPT. Does that mean I have to pay $10,000? Does that mean I have to pay $5,000? Does that mean that you can work here for free? Does that mean there's paperwork that we have to fill out? I don't know. You didn't tell me. What you need to say is eligible for a CPT, which means any company can do blankety blank. But I don't know. I have not done with that. I have not worked with a CPT or an F1 before. I might have done an F1. So I've done OPT. Maybe OPT is the F1. You have to describe it, okay? Not a lot of us, even if we're able to work with candidates on a visa, we may not know what that visa is, because having taught other recruiters some of this, the best answer is every single time there's a candidate with a visa that we can work with is we got to talk to a lawyer. So you have to explain to me. So, and you're going to need to apply to more than a few places. Even if you were in the United States and applying to the United States internships and you had experience, your internship ratio may be close to 1 in 20 as a good one. Like a 1 to 75 ratio for an internship isn't bad. IT is crowded. There are so many people there. There are very little spots for internships available. So you are going to need to apply to a lot. So let's see if I can find what I need in 20 seconds, because I just wanted to give that beforehand. I also don't know what this person's ratio is. All right. And go. All right. I don't know if this is needed. Engineer task management with Java, Spring Boot. Okay, good. I don't know what the rest of that is. Okay. Built a front end. That one's actually okay. Implemented authors, unit tests. That's all I could find. Mentor 5 junior interview. Okay. So you have a couple of issues here. Not a ton. This is actually mostly kind of correct. I don't know what Thymeleaf is. I'm not probably looking for MVC unless it's an Android role. RESTful is good, and this is fine. But I want to know what this is. Like, what was the system that you did, unless it's entirely a task management. Then, again, this is fine. You said HTML, CSS, JavaScript, perfectly fine. AWS is good, but I don't know how you worked with other people. I don't know how you took criticism. RESTful APIs, again, good, solid. You have some good stuff, but you focused entirely on what you did and not how you interacted with anybody else. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I didn't even get to this part. Collaborated with 3 teammates. Don't say collaborated, right? Collaborate. What does collaborated mean? Does that mean you just high-fived each other once and that was it? Did you work every day together for 8 weeks? Did you criticize each other's code to lead to improvement? I don't know. You just said collaborated. Yeah, because that doesn't tell me enough. So, in addition, you shouldn't have 4 bullet points here. Normally, I say that you want between 3 to 8 bullet points. As these are projects you have done in a single month, you should probably put 3. You just need to cram in a couple of this stuff together, right? Like, engineered a task management system using Java, Spring Boot for the back end, and JavaScript, HTML, CSS for the front end, with RESTful APIs in an AWS environment. Right? Like, that would give you everything and save you some space. But I also don't know if they're going to get this far down. Like, so normally I would say you don't want to do this, right? You don't want to say advance from voluntary to art director, recruiting, blah, 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 blah. Collaborated with cross-functional. Again, I don't know what collaborated means, but mentor 5 juniors and integrated feedback is also not what I'm looking for, right? Like, remember, I'm not asking you to lead. I'm asking you to follow. I'm not asking, did you coach other people? I'm asking, did you get coached? You have some experience. If I told you, hey, your code is sloppy, would you punch me in the face, right? Like, that can happen. People can lose their cool over that stuff. And that's what I'm trying to figure out is, have you worked with other people enough that you can take criticism and directions so that you will not cause a crash out? So that's all I can really do for this. Again, it's probably your big thing is that they don't even know what this is, and if you explain this better, the rest of it would be, you have a much better chance. But I also am missing working with others and taking direction and criticism. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of another software engineer intern. They said, I have gotten 0 interviews. Also, I am dual enrolled in 2 universities. I decided to put the university where I am currently a CS major. Yes, that is the correct choice. Am I supposed to put both? No, if it's not related, you don't need to put it. It's okay. If you're in 2, just put the CS degree. That is what they're most likely looking for. Yeah, just put the CS degree. The CS degree is what they actually care the most about. So, let's see. Can I find what I need? Again, same qualifications as last time. Not really a lot of actual qualifications. It's just degree, basic knowledge of tech stack, language, library, SQL, maybe some cloud, ability to work well with others, and direction and criticism. So, let's find out. All right, formatting's kind of bad. Node.js, good. It's hard to read. Numbers. For full stack weather, okay, Java, HTML, CSS, TypeScript, solid, RESTful APIs. And then Python metadata, again, it's okay. And nothing. So yeah, again, I don't see how you took criticism and direction. So if you want to know what every single CS intern looks like, it's probably closer to maybe the last one. But every single person says this, right? Every single person does this. You actually did it better than most because you wrote these down very well. So it's usually less distinct than this, but you don't tell me how you worked well with others. Collaborated it means nothing, right? I need people to use very strict language. I know okay, people assume you need to speak corporate. You don't. The more corporate speak your resume is, the worse it is. You don't want to do that. You want to make it plain and easy to understand to a layman. And this honestly has the exact same problem to the last one. It looks like all the way down here you have some like leadership stuff, but like, yeah, here, this actually is okay-ish. Coordinated with a team of 4 developers, again, coordinated, to automate content workflow, incorporate feedback from leadership to cut production time there. See, that is actually closer to what I'm looking to, but nobody is going to go all the way down here. No one has the time to get it. I need that to be like here. And again, I'm not looking for leadership. Everybody's trying to be like a leader, but you're not. As an intern, you're a follower. Your goal is to follow other people. That is what you're actually paid to do, is to follow. So I need you to rewrite some of this. Again, this is okay, but I need a couple of other bullet points of like, what did you do with the team? Don't just tell me collaborated. Say, met weekly to go over each other's code, providing criticism and advice. Like, that would be a fine bullet point. That alone could get you it. So this is the same as everything else. And again, it's okay to have the same resume. The problem is it doesn't have enough of what I need to move you forward. I need to see that you can work well with others, not just collaborated. How did you collaborate? So that's the only thing I can really do for this. Also, you have weird percentages. Again, stop putting percentages and numbers in your resume. You know how hard it makes it worse? I want to find out whoever decided that, try to spread the rumor of you need like percentages and numbers and everything. And I would have a very stern talking to with them, because that is just, it's bad. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data analyst. This person says, I just updated my resume from bad to better. Okay, good. So they've used my format and it's been a little bit better. I've got 2 interviews, few application views, and before I didn't have any relevant projects and didn't boast the title like Python, Power BI. Okay. I have improved my resume, and yet I'm still including both skills and education sections because I don't have much project or experience to show. Don't do that. The skills sections don't matter. They're bad. Skills sections are bad. All right, so what am I looking for well, this person said they're from Pakistan. I am specifically a US-based recruiter, so I can only really look in the US. What I'm looking for in the US and a data analyst is degree, industry, SQL, data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker, stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders, how you solved a problem with data, not what the data is, industry, MS Excel, Word, Python, R, multiple projects and deadlines, and a bonus for cloud. So, can I find that in 20 seconds? Probably not, but let's see. All right, nothing here I can use. Nothing here I can use. Nothing here I can use. SQL, okay. I hate reading this. Stop with the bullying. Okay, no. Okay, so first off, this does not read like a data analyst. I didn't see a single thing I needed for data analyst except for like one Python. I'm not actually sure if you're really looking for data analyst. You stated data analyst, but this does not read like it. In addition, don't do this. Don't have all this up here. Your resume needs to look like this. Your big issue is I don't know what you are, because this only has SQL, which is what I would be looking. Oh, here it is. oh God, your formatting is so awful. I'm sorry. This is why you need good formatting, right? Like, the entire purpose of the formatting is so that it's easier for the person reading it in the 20 seconds we have. Based on your formatting, I could not find it, and because you bolded everything, I could not find what I needed. It made it harder to read. I swear to you, please listen to me. Stop bolding. Your recruiters will thank you. Your hiring managers will thank you. Stop bolding everything. Makes it so much worse. So, this doesn't matter. Again, I don't care about anything here. This, again, doesn't matter. I don't need anything there. This actually does. You actually have some qualifications that I'm looking for. Is designed and executed MS SQL queries to is good, but I don't care about what. No, you tell me to calculate KPIs for pizza data sales set. This is actually a well-written sentence. Would I prefer a little bit more? Yes, but it's not a bad written sentence. Applies database normalization and entity relationship. This means nothing. I don't care about any of this. Built a relationship data models. Don't really care about. But I do care about interactive dashboards and Power BIs for pizza sales insights. Applied Python. Kind of care about. It's okay to have. The rest of this, not really. But data processing, visualization, I do. So the problem is you just don't really have most of what I'm looking for. And you've written it kind of weird. Like, again, I don't care. This is why this is a better sentence than this, right? This tells me what you use the data for, right? You use SQL, okay, to calculate KPIs for a pizza sales data set. This is a phenomenal sentence and one of the best I've read today. This is exactly how I want people to write the sentences. Would I prefer a little bit more, like designed and executed SQL queries and Excel macros and Python to calculate KPIs? Yes, but it's still well written regardless. Here, though, it says nothing. Like, I don't care that you did data normalization. Why does that matter? I'm not looking for that. I don't care about that. Entity relationship. I don't know what that is. Nothing there. I understand. And then this is okay. So you just need more. You need to fix this and make it look like this, and then you just need more. Although, admittedly, like I said, I don't know what they're looking for in Pakistan. I can only base this on US-based jobs. It may be that in Pakistan, they specifically are looking for some of this stuff. So, that's all I can do for this resume, and that's all for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. And thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm here to get you ahead of your job search.